Whatever comes easy for you to do that others say, how did you do that? Or other people call for you to do. They can't think of anybody else. If you are created in someone's image, you have their traits, their DNA, their essence. It's not optional. It's in your blood, girl. Okay? At least 99% of you have heard this before. But you'll never know for sure. You'll never get there until you enter your creative domain. This is the Ever Airwaves Think podcast, brought to you by Live One Company, where we explore ideas that challenge, comfort, and clarify. I'm Liv, and in every episode, we break down life's complexities with intellect, insight, and a touch of curiosity. All right, we're on air. OMG, when I understood this one thing just a few years ago, I could never unhear it. I've become very responsible with this information. It literally changed my life forever, and I will never, ever, ever be the same, nor will I go back. We often sit around and wonder our purpose in life, and it's no secret, as I've talked about it and shared this before, that your gifts and talents are tied to your life's purpose. But I want to tell you something else. What I am about to share is a huge revelation, and you will not be able to unhear it. Thanks, Rick Pino. When I heard it, I researched it, I dissected it, I tested it, and I took it and ran with it. I'm going to the finish line. I'm going to the finish line, y'all. I feel pretty confident in making this next statement. But what I'm about to share, majority of you, at least 99% of you have heard this before. And I mean heard this before, but probably not heard this before. I'll leave off the 1% for those in rare cases that have not heard this before. But as I was saying, you've heard this before and it flew right over your head. You had the key in your hands from the beginning and you never put the key into the lock to open the door. And so we're going to open that door today because you have the key. You just need to put it into the lock and turn the door open, right? So what is it? Well, we'll get into it next, but this topic is so foundational, so life-changing that I promise you, you'll leave here seeing yourself in a whole new light. And we're talking about creation, not the philosophical stuff, but the core of who you are, what you were made to do, and how it ties into living your best life. Let's start with the beginning. Literally the beginning. And y'all know I don't do any half-stepping over here, so I'm coming with facts. Big facts, facts on facts on facts. So get ready. You feel me? In the book of Genesis, yes, the Bible, that book you should be reading every day, but that's none of my business. I'll mind my business and you can mind yours. But the very first thing God tells us about himself is that he's a creator. Day 1, he creates light. Day 2, the heavens and the earth. By day 6, he's wrapping it all up with humans. And Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created. There's no arguing there. Word for word, line for line, bar for bar, he created in the beginning. And then get this, he says, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness. Boom, right there. He told us who we are. Creators, made in the image of the creator. We are creators, y'all. And that's in verses 26 and 27. So I'm not making this stuff up. Now, pause for a second and think about what this means. If you are created in someone's image, you have their traits, their DNA, their essence. So if God is a creator, guess what? Think, baby, think, okay? You are too. It's not optional. It's in your blood, girl, okay? Took a DNA test and you are 99.99% a creator. So what does it mean to be created in his image? Let me break this down. Being made in God's image doesn't mean you look like him physically. It means you reflect his nature. You think, you imagine, you build, you produce. Think about it. When God created, he didn't just slap things together. He had a vision, like a big picture plan. He didn't just stop at let there be light. He kept going, layering creation, making it functional, beautiful, and sustainable. And here's the kicker. He didn't create just to sit back and admire it. He created to grow, to expand, to bless. And that's your purpose too. You're not just here to exist. You're here to create, to build something meaningful, to grow it, and to bless others while you're at it. Just like I'm blessing you right now with this podcast. I want to talk about the movement we're living in. We are living in a world of modern day creators. I'm a creator, you're a creator. Like, look around. Society is obsessed with creation. We have content creators, tech creators, people launching skincare lines, clothing lines, podcasts. Hello. It sounds familiar. Like, it's no accident. This wave of creativity, it's tapping into the core of what we were made to do. Take Rihanna, for example. Yes. And I love me some Bad Girl Riri, okay? She didn't just stick to music. She expanded. She created Fenty Beauty, a makeup line that completely disrupted the industry by being exclusive and inclusive and meeting the needs of everybody. And the result, she has a net worth of like 1.4 billion. Yes, billion with a B. And do you think Rihanna woke up one day and said, I'm not sure I can do this? No. She leaned into her creative side and her space and took what she pretty much already was good at, which is understanding beauty and branding, to create something that not only built wealth for her, but also blessed people. So she really tapped into her purpose as a creator. And I mean, think about it. All the women around the world buying up her products because she knows her products, she understands her products, she understands people and the people that buy it, the women that buy it, right? Her products pretty much cater to all complexions. She's a smart girl, very smart girl. And I have to give it to her on her marketing. Like, it's top tier. Chef's kiss on how she markets her cosmetics and her lingerie and overall brand in general. And whoever is her brand strategist, I know they are sitting pretty. Okay. I know they are well paid because they do a phenomenal job supporting and making sure her brand thrives. Where's your Rihanna energy? Can you imagine Rihanna walking into Sephora, going for a meeting and saying, hey, y'all, I'm thinking about this little line called Fenty. No big deal. Please. That is not her vibe. She walked in knowing her worth, her talent, and her purpose. So imagine if you walked into your goals with that same energy, what would change for you? I mean, you would really show improve. And think about it. You'd certainly be on your way to millies and billies, okay? Like I said, billions. So I really think you'd be a force to be reckoned with, but you'll never know for sure. You'll never get there until you enter your creative domain. And I entered my creative domain and just a few years ago, and God has really been blowing my mind, like back to back, back to back, back to back. And I know the best is yet to come. All right, so what's coming next is a little bit of education 101, economics 101. So I want to make sure, I want to be very clear, because you're not coming for me. Ain't no MAGA over here. Ain't no Candace Owens over here. I'm giving you knowledge, okay? I'm giving you things I learned in economics from my Nigerian economics professor who me and him was about to squabble up, okay? Yeah, let me tell you about him real quick. I took a quiz in his class one day and I knew I had aced that quiz. I was like, I got this in the bag. And guess what? He handed me back a C. I was so livid about that C because the quiz was about guns and butter. But guess what? By the time I got back to my dorm, I realized he did not actually grade the second page of my quiz. Long story short, I went back over all the way on the other side of campus and told him to fix my grade, that he did not actually grade my entire paper. And he looked at me like I was cheating, like I was making up something. It was the audacity for me. Now, I respected this professor, okay? I respected him, but I did not care for what he did. He turned my grade into an A, but then he never updated his books. I was a little livid about that. Now, I still walked out of his class with like a B plus at the end of the semester, you know, because economics, business, I went to grad school for that, but was not my undergrad. My studies in undergrad were in communications, television production, journalism, mass communications, all that good stuff. Anywho, I still want to fight him for that, but I just want to be crystal clear. I'm coming to you with things that I learned from when I was in college, that I learned when I was at university. So what we're not going to do is come for me unless I send for you. Okay? Now twirl on that. Let's talk about the power of you being a creative from an economic standpoint, and probably where it matters most and how God envisioned it to be. Because remember, God is a big picture God. So everything he does, it serves purposes, greater purposes beyond just your purview and my purview. where it gets even deeper is creation. It doesn't just impact you. It impacts the world around you. Did you even know that countries with high levels of creativity and innovation have stronger economies? Like, really think about this. I need you to think about this on a deeper level. When people create businesses, they generate income, jobs, and opportunities. It's a ripple effect. And like, the stability and greatness of any country is evaluated and based on two things. Its GDP, which is its gross domestic product, and the size of its military. And this is why America sits on top and why America is all about keeping business and keeping factories and everything that we produce and make. They want it American made as much as possible because we are producers. We produce and make, and we sell it to create a sustainable cash flow, economies of scale, and we are big exporters as well. But close to us with producing, being leaders of creators, is China. And then Japan comes in third. And why do you think America is all about business creation and wanting everyone to own a business? You see business promotion kind of going on, and get your LLC, get your sole prop, this, that, whatever. This is why. So we can stay on top. And this is why we stay eyeing the ops on what they got cooking, especially like military wise, or what they're importing over here. And no shade or anything, no tea to any other countries, as I know other countries are listening in, but I just want to give you the background and help you to understand on a deeper level, on a highly intellectual level, when it comes to the economy, like why this is so important. But also think about like weapons, y'all, like weapons other countries are making. That's why we are eyeing that. We're all on that because from an economic standpoint, again, the GDP and the military, who has the big guns, right? So for my economic heads, my economists, you know, it's about guns and butter for what makes a nation number one. And so you know what I'm talking about is straight legit. And I wanted to really just give you a further explanation how deep creation goes and how it pretty much impacts and affects our lives on such a big scale. And like, God is divine. He's all of the above. He's omnipotent. He's God. He's God. He's everything. So I can't even really label like how massive he thinks. That's even a thing. I don't even think he can be labeled, but I just wanted to explain to you on a deeper level how all this connects. Now, I know we got all these trade wars going on and off, back and forth and back between different countries, with the US and China at each other's heads. And hopefully, you know, we can settle things. But just to give you some facts, the countries with the highest nominal GDP right now, like I said, is US sitting at 28 trillion. China is almost at 18 trillion. And then Japan is at 4 trillion. So you see why US is trying to stay on top, because China is on our head top. I'm just saying. That is the whole thing. So if you really want to know what's going on, GDP, people who create things, creators, it's all about creation when we get to the bottom of things, about who is making the most products and services, because those are the ones who are bringing in and ringing in the dollars. America is sitting at top and they don't want nobody coming for them. I mean, China is 10 trillion away and that ain't nothing but a chicken wing for them. I'm just saying. Queen, it's time for you to tap into your gifts and talents. You use your gifts and talents to create. God made you a creator, and using your special gifts and talents, the things that come naturally to you, okay? They have to come naturally. Things that you didn't have to go to school for or get an education to learn, because you have to go to school for it, or if you have to be educated or trained to do it, then that is actually a skill set. You can go far with skill sets, but I'm talking about things that come so easy to you that may be challenging for others who don't know how to do those things, that don't come naturally for them. That is your gift. Those are your gifts and talents, but we ignore our gifts and talents because we think, oh, that's so easy. That cannot be a gift or talent. God wants our gifts and talents to be easy. He never wanted us to have to take years for us to discover our gifts and talents. It's not in our future. It's not in our past. So stop saying, I'm going to wait till I figure things out. There's nothing to figure out because it's already inside of you. What you should be doing right now is what you're already good at doing. Is that doing hair? Is it baking, public speaking, problem solving, singing, acting, dancing, crafting, content creation? What is it? What are you naturally good at that does not require a lot of effort? You use those talents, those gifts to create something. And then when you create something, you turn it into a business. You turn it into profit. You operationalize it. This is how they did business. This is how they did things in the Bible to make money. This is what the Jews do. This is how they are masterminds of continuing to flourish in business alone, because they understand their gifts and talents and they go to other people for things that they're not good at. They spend their money. They pay for things that they don't know how to do, that doesn't come naturally to them. And it's a continuous cycle. Things continue to evolve. And that's how you keep money in your community and grow money and expand. You are using your gifts and talents. If you have to go to school to learn how to do it, that is not something that naturally came to you. If you naturally know how to do something, you can go to school to enhance it, to ensure that it is being delivered at scale. You can go to school to learn how to turn it into a business. You can go to school to learn how to master it in society and putting it out there for profit, but you're not going to school to learn it. You might go to school to keep up with the times and how to make it more accessible and how to elevate it, but you're not going to school to learn it. If you're going to school to learn it, you are acquiring a skill, but God made you a creator. Now, I promised a deep dive in another episode on your purpose, and I'm giving it to you right now. Whatever comes easy for you to do, that others say, how did you do that? Or other people call for you to do. They can't think of anybody else that knows how to do it, or they want the top person and it's you. They thought of you first. That is something that more than likely is your gift or talent. And if you're still struggling understanding what your gift or talent is, ask 10 people that you know. Ask people that you know you very well. Hey, what do you think my gifts and talents are? What am I good at? They will tell you, girl, you are good at singing. Oh my goodness, you are good at speaking publicly. You are good at figuring things out on the computer. Like, I don't understand how you know that. You are so good at mathematics. Maybe you should be in finances. You are taking those things that God has put in you, because your gift is always in you. And that is literally in Genesis 1:11. Everything is inside itself. A seed is inside itself, meaning your gifts and talents are inside you. God never placed your gift outside of you. That's why a fish has the gift to swim. A horse has the gift to gallop. And you, as a human, what is your gift? What is your gift? Michael Jordan had the gift to play basketball. When he got his hands on the ball, he knew what he was doing. Serena Williams, the gift of tennis. Her dad taught her and her sister Venus how to be masterful in it, but they had the gift already in them. What is your gift? What are you good at? Use that and make a creation. I'm good at sharing what I know, connecting the dots. I'm good at helping other women. I'm good at encouraging other women. So what did I do? I turned that into a podcast. I do other things. I'm good at writing. I have a publishing company. What are you good at? That is your purpose. Stop making this hard. Now let's dig more into creativity and how you are made and designed in the image of God. You are a creator at heart. We are all creators. Did you ever realize that when God made Adam and Eve, when he made that Garden of Eden, he didn't give him chairs and tables. He gave him trees. Why? Because Adam was good with his hands. So he cut down those trees and he made things with his hands. Whatever he needed, he made it. God was the source and his resources were his gifts and talents to be able to create. He did that because he's a creator. God is the source. He's the source of all the things that we need. And then he provides all the resources. A lot of times you are your own resource and you don't even know it. What do you have that you're good at? That when you came home from work each day and you said, I can do this. I can make a dress. I can design. I can draw. I can be an artist. What is it? What is your craftsmanship? That is your gift and talent. God placed it inside of you so you'd never lose it. He never wanted to make it hard for you. And some of you have multiple gifts and talents. He gave you them to be a source of sustainability, a source of income, a way to bless others that need and depend on your gift. People buy other people's gifts and talents through products and services. Think about the artwork hanging in your home. Someone made that. Someone designed that. They used their gifts and talents to create that. How about the decorations at someone's wedding, at your wedding? Someone created that and you bought that to the singer at the party or to the nurturer that's your therapist. This is how gifts and talents work and bless others. If you never discovered what's already inside of you, you will always work to grow and evolve someone else's gifts and talents, which are more than likely their hopes and dreams, not yours. Because your hopes and dreams are also connected to your gifts and talents. And it's all about creation at the heart of it all. When you really could be living out your own life, you're busy working and being a slave to someone else's. Now, working for someone else for a company or a business, there's nothing wrong with that. But are you maximizing your gifts and talents? Are you gaining the skill set that you need to leverage and coincide with all of the things that you'll need to maximize and grow your own business and be able to be successful with your own gifts and talents and hopes and dreams? Some people get it and many others never get it. I'll keep revisiting this more and more and get deeper and deeper in future episodes because sometimes it has to be heard more than once and in many different ways for people to have that aha moment and connect the dots. People tend to struggle with understanding their purpose and defining their purpose and living out their life on purpose because they don't know their purpose, even though it's one of the most easiest things to know. Now let's get back into you being a creator and dig even deeper into that. Dr. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast because I had to take a few takes on this part just to get his name right. But put some respect on his name. But this Hungarian American doctor, Dr. Mihai, his research found that when people create, they enter a state called flow, where they're completely immersed and productive. And this isn't just about art of writing. It's about problem solving, building, and innovation. And so what's the point? When you step into your creative purpose, you're not just helping yourself. You're in the zone. You're operating at your highest level. You are that girl. You're contributing to the world. In other words, let her cook. Yeah, glow. If you know, you know. But let's circle back to Genesis for a moment. God didn't just create for himself. He created to share, to give, to provide. And he created both man and woman in his image. Ladies, let's not forget that, okay? When he said, let us make mankind in our image, he meant you too. Okay, there's no footnote that says, oh, but not women. In verse 27, God says he specifically created male and female in his image. So don't let anyone try to tell you otherwise, because we don't have some little rascals out here still in their little woman haters club, still hating on the power of a woman, trying to tell us what we can and can't do. Sit down, please, have several seats, little men. And these type of people, and I say people because there are some women too that think like this. They think that we shouldn't be doing anything in life. People think like this because they are too bothered and too threatened. Very. And that's the only real reason people try to stop you or they have something to say because they feel threatened. That's why. Why else? What other reason would there be? Creation is a vibe, so get into it, all the way into it. And no, you are never too old. If your eyes open and your feet hit the ground every morning and you still can breathe, God is not through with you. You're going to the top. So the next time you're at a brunch or somewhere and someone asks you, what do? Instead of fumbling, you say, oh, I'm a creator, period. No disclaimers, no shrinking, just owning it. Because let's be real, whether you are creating content, a business, or a home, you're living out your purpose and you look good doing it. If you're feeling this, I mean really feeling this episode, drop I'm a creator in the comments. Because I want to see how tall we're standing. I want to see if we're standing on business. So please drop a comment. I'm a creator. All right. I want to tell you about someone else that inspires me, Melissa Butler. This sister is the founder of the lip bar TLB. Get into it. Seriously, Miss Black CEO Melissa Butler started making lipstick in her kitchen and turned it into a multi-million-dollar business. And she's proof that you don't need all the resources in the world to start. You just need to start. And trust me, her lipstick is everything, okay? The Boss Lady and Rich Auntie Liquid Matte Lipstick duo had me right for one of my friends' weddings last year and a fun girls' night out. I'm just saying her line is straight fire. But anyway, I did read an article about her on marthastewart.com and her backstory about the lip bar is good, y'all. Sis used to work in Wall Street and once she tapped into her creativity, it led to her having this mega business. And so I encourage you to create. You really need to step into your creative power. And if you're waiting on a sign, this is it. This is the sign. My challenge for you is to spend the next 30 days, and you really probably don't need 30 days, but hey, life, right? You need to identify one thing you're naturally good at or passionate about and think about how you can turn that into something you create, whether it's a side hustle, a project, or even just an idea, and then do it. Now, for real, a lot of you already know what you're really good at. It's a no-brainer. You just need to start taking action. You need to operationalize it, turn it into a business. Just do something. Don't be a waste of gifts and talents. And if you're already in your bag and using your gifts and talents, drop them in the comments in this episode. Let us know what you're doing, what you're up to, what you're cooking, but share your story about how you're using your gifts to create. Like, seriously, take a moment to encourage and help others. That's the least you can do if you don't do anything else. I want you to remember that you were created in the image of the Creator, and that means you have everything you need to create, to build, and to thrive. It's in your DNA, girl, okay? Don't waste it. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and most importantly, stay creating. You've got this. Thanks for listening to the Ever Airwaves Think podcast. If today's episode made you elevate, share it with someone who needs it. Until next time, keep questioning until you have those answers. I'm out.